In this video, we will discuss the topic two-phase locking. Now, if all locking operations precede the first unlock operation in the transaction, then a transaction follows the two-phase locking protocol. Now, two-phase locking has two phases in a given schedule. Phase 1 is known as growing phase, a phase during which all locks are requested, and phase 2, which is known as shrinking phase, a phase during which all locks are released. So as you can see in this diagram, in growing phase all locks are acquired, lock acquisition is done, and in shrinking phase locks are released. So this is the diagram for two-phase locking. Now initially a transaction is in the growing phase. The transaction acquire locks as needed. Once the transaction releases a lock, it enters the shrinking phase and it can issue no more lock request. So there are some rules for two-phase locking. First is two transactions cannot have conflicting locks. Second, no unlock operation can precede a lock operation in the same transaction. And third is no data are affected until all locks are obtained. Now the point to note is, as per two-phase locking protocol, the transaction cannot acquire a new lock after it has unlocked any of its existing locked items. Now to explain this, let us see an example. We have two transactions T1 and T2. Let us see whether they are in two-phase follows two-phase locking or not. Now first, if we look at first transaction T1, we see that item B is exclusively locked, and then some operations, read and write operations, are performed. After this, item A is locked and some operations are performed, and in last both the data items are unlocked. So this is a two-phase locking because all locks are acquired first and then after that in shrinking phase unlocking is done. But if we see transaction T2, at first there is a shared lock on data item A. After that a read operation is performed and data item A is unlocked. Now again shared lock is applied on data item B. Now this is not allowed in two-phase locking. In locking phase no unlock can be there. So transaction T2 is not in two-phase locking. So this is the same which I have explained. Now there are two limitations of two-phase locking. First is deadlock. Now two-phase locking protocols do not prevent deadlocks. The transaction T1 is in two-phase but still has a problem of deadlock. This is because if we do not unlock a data item before requesting a lock on another data item, then deadlocks may occur. This means that if all locks are acquired first, then it may cause a situation of deadlock because some data items may be needed by some other transactions which has been locked by transaction T1. Second limitation of two-phase locking is cascading rollback. Now cascading rollback is a phenomena in which a single transaction failure leads to a series of transaction rollback. So these are the two limitations of two-phase locking. In further video, we will discuss non-two-phase locking and various types of non-two-phase locking protocols. So, thank you.